Fresno, California, big news coming out of there. A registered sex offender has launched a Fresno City Council campaign to represent a district in Fresno.
This guy's got a look.
Very crowded field. But here's what he had to say about it.
I believe Fresno deserves leaders that are honest from the very beginning, not the end. So going into this, I'm putting my life out there.
Up front about his status as a registered sex offender, Rene Campos is not running from his past as he runs for office.
I've been given the chance to rehabilitate through the courts and back into the system.
Charged with being in possession of child sex abuse material back in 2018, the Fresno native says he pled no contest to a misdemeanor charge. Now launching his campaign to represent District 7 on the Fresno City Council. He says his focus is on safety.
So I say, let's choose somebody outside the box, somebody who knows the system from inside out. Because I've experienced the laws that we are trying to reform right now.
Fresno County Clerk and Registrar of Voters James Coos says state law does not prevent a registered sex offender from running for office.
Once you leave prison, you're on probation, you actually are allowed in California to reapply and become a registered voter again, which would then make you eligible to be able to run as long as you are living in the proper jurisdiction.
Now, listen, this guy doesn't stand a chance in hell, right? Possession of child sexual content, abuse material. I'm not sure what that is. It could be
California
images or...
Yeah, I got it, Andrew. California's, we could elect anybody for anything. I would rather have him than Katie Porter or Gavin Newsom or somebody on that council. I really would, because he may have an idea or two I agree with outside above and beyond the sexual predators list, you know what I mean? Like, he may have some solid ideas about traffic or infrastructure or something. Well, I mean, if you're dealing with a Karen Bass or a Gavin Newsom or a Katie Porter, or Nithya Raman, they don't have any ideas that are good, right?
Right.
So the pedophile may have a couple of good ideas and be a pedophile. You know what I'm saying? And considering that I'm not a 9-year-old boy, then I just get the good roads that he's providing, and I don't have to worry about whatever he's doing on the weekend. So I might vote for him over a Nithya Raman type.
All right.
Who, by the way, you know that it's not a coincidence. It's not like, well, me and Nithya Raman or Gavin Newsom or whoever, we disagree on the school voucher system, but obviously we're on the same page with the border and ICE or whatever. I mean, you watch Trump's State of the Union. I agree with everything Trump says. They disagree with everything he says. So it's not going to be, you know, it's not a scene where it's like, well, we may find some common ground on this subject or that subject. Their ideas are retarded. So you're going to be against every idea they have. Mamdani, It's not like you and Mamdani agree on this and that, but not the other.
Fresno in the Central Valley is a fairly conservative-leaning area, and it is possible that if every other candidate in this city council election leans towards Trump, and he's the only one who doesn't, he stands a very good chance of at least advancing after the June primary.
This guy's got the saddest thing ever, which is he had the big gauges in his ears.
Oh, God.
That stretched
you can
him
never
out.
take those out.
And now he's got the flappy skin there.
Yep.
I would be I'll tell you what I told my son.
What?
I said, listen, I don't like those big gauge hoop earring things, stretch you out like a native, you know, but I'm not going to tell you what to do. And if that's a road you decide to go down, you can. But at some point at a Thanksgiving years from now, I'm going to get drunk and try to fuck that gauge. And we'll do it in front of everybody, including your fiance or whoever you're with. And it's going to be fucking ugly. So I'm not telling you not to do it, but anticipate this, you know?
Yeah.
And you know what, Dawson?
What?
Not even a stud. That kid's got nothing.
There you go.
Nothing.
That's
nothing.
just good parenting.
I'm going to call that a success.
Yeah.
there.
Regarding this Fresno City Council
I
election.
also told him measure twice, cut once. Right. So it wasn't all weird sexual stuff. Some of it was regular homespun advice.
Absolutely. Well, my good friend Kinky Friedman always said that each elected official should serve 2 terms, one in office and one in prison. This guy already got prison out of the way.
You know what I told my son when he complained about me ear fucking him?
What?
I said, spare the rod, spoil the child. Yeah.
Yep.
He knew what it meant.
He knows. That'll shut him up real quick.
That's right.
Yeah. New photo floating around the internet. A photo of Stephen Hawking with 2 women in bikinis has emerged in the latest batch of the Epstein Files. A family spokesperson said the 2 women were the late physicist's caretakers. And that the photo was taken at a science symposium in 2006. But it's all related to the Epstein investigation. Here's the thing. Right now I'm producing, I produce our friend of the show, Ralph Pizzulo's podcast, Heroes Behind Headlines.
Love that guy.
And the one that we're into right now, he interviews the author of an upcoming Epstein-related book based on the account of a 20-year-old would-be model out of South Africa. And there is much more to this whole Epstein thing than everyone thinks. It's not necessarily just about children and sex with children. There's some real stem cell neuroscience, live forever, weird effing shit.
Well, there
going
is a thing, Dawson,
and so it doesn't surprise me that Hawking would be related to this.
Yeah. Okay. Let me just say something. Life. If you go, look, you fall off the back of a cruise ship, you're just trying to survive. You're trying to keep your head literally above water until somebody finds you. You're literally survival.
Right.
You're not really thinking about, we're going to have sushi for brunch or something like that. All you think is live, right? And then if you can swim and get to an island, once you get to the island, you just kind of think about shelter and eating coconuts, and no one's thinking about eating a steak fillet or anything. It's survive. And most people are sort of in kind of survival mode. Like most people are paycheck to paycheck. They have the problems are like right in front of their face all the time. It's a lot of shit. I got to get that roof redone, but I don't have $26,000. Shit, I maybe I could buy a tarp and put it over. When you get to a point where money is literally not a concern because there's literally so much of it that you can go to any restaurant order and it's everything. You've completely eliminated money, 100%. All the struggles that we have that are surrounding making money and the spending of money and I'd like a new truck, but I can only afford a used truck or whatever. All that, it's all gone. It's all gone. Then your brain sits around and there is no more struggle and there is no more work and there is no more concern and obsession. And you think about your life, 80% of the waking moments are sort of like, I got to get this, I got to go to work, I got to pay for that, I got to do this, I got another opportunity for that, I can work this, go and do this, going to go do that. Now you remove it all. Now you're into stem cells and living forever and drinking the blood of virgins and you'll start going into some places, right? Because everyone else is busy surviving all the time. And I don't mean surviving like trapping a wildebeest in the woods.
Sure,
I just mean just survival. You're working, you're taking care of shit. It's like stuff's got to be taken care of. These guys have removed all of that, and now they're into some sort of how am I going to live forever?
Yeah.
Because also, who the fuck wants to have enough money for 154 lifetimes and you died 63 and a half.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I got a 200-foot yacht. I want to spend some time on that yacht. I don't want to spend the last 10 years of my life on that yacht. I want to spend the last 200 years of my life on that
Right.
yacht, you know? So that's why I think it always takes a turn for something, you know.
For the sinister.
It's could be sinister, but it could also just be weird. You know what I mean? Like
Okay.
that's kind of my Mick Jagger theory. When you get to fuck,
Vaguely nefarious.
you get to fuck whoever you want for an extended period of time.
Sure.
Eventually, you just got to blow David Bowie or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to mix things up because it's
Yes,
just too.
yes,
That's why I
yes,
always
yes.
believed in the Richard Gere gerbil story because
Yes.
you're fucking Cindy Crawford.
I've read a.
You're fucking Cindy Crawford. So
Yes.
what if you nail a Raiderette? Who gives a fuck? You're fucking Cindy. Where are you going from here? You know what I mean? All the fat truck drivers who make $52,000 a year are fantasizing about Cindy Crawford. Richard Gere's tired of fucking Cindy Crawford. Mm-hmm. So where do you go?
Right.
Full gerbil.
Well, look, I mean, it reminds me of an article I read in Rolling Stone a long time ago about someone who was a roadie for Motorhead. Mm-hmm. And this guy was so like, there's so many drugs, and at first when you're picking girls to go backstage, he would, have fun with the girls. Finally, his whole thing isn't working because he's so riddled with drugs. He had girls line up and he threw lunch meat at them.
Right.
And if it stuck, you got to go backstage. So yeah, that's the things that you will do when money or other things aren't working. It's pretty disgusting. But one of the things coming out in this podcast, and it's incredibly interesting, really difficult to produce. But what Epstein did with this one person is they were at he had a function in South Africa, and she happened to be in the same vicinity. Sent people over to her, other young models, maybe 23, 24 years old, and said, hey, would you be interested in auditioning for this model thing, whatever. Then they say that people are interested in having you as a model, put them into a room, and then ask them questions like, how close are you to your family? What's your relationship with your father? What's your financial situation right now? And all these questions to find out if these people are kidnappable, essentially.
Yeah.
And then within a period of 36 hours or 72 hours, she was flown from South Africa to New York City. 4 hours later, she's on another plane to the Epstein Island. The next day, she's on another plane to Paris. And he would keep these girls isolated, hungry, and tired, and was really into mind control.
Epstein.
Yes. So there's a whole new wrinkle to this that I really hope does get exposed. But
Wow. What about the whole how'd he fucking make so much money? He wasn't even that bright a guy.
Right. That I do not know.
I did have to tell Chuck, who's in the tribe, he's a proud Jew, in the next room. He was excited that the hockey player for the USA team, Jack, was a Jew. But I had to explain to him Epstein's a Jew, too. So
Right.
reel it in a little, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're not so great. Not all of them. Not all of them are scoring winning goals,
Yeah.
It's hit or miss right now.
Yeah, that's a lot of range.
You win some, you
Athletically,
lose
we're
some.
doing very well. For
Which
the
is
first time
which
in
is
a long
interesting because now Epstein was basically like an accountant. So you go, all right, now that's good old-fashioned Jew work there, but scoring pucks, putting a puck in the net, it's not old-school Jew work, but lo and behold, there you are excelling on the ice. But the accountant, not so much.
Wow.
It's important to kind of keep people grounded. It's like Casey Kasem would say, you know what I mean? Keep your feet on the ground, your head in the stars.
That's right.
You don't say keep your feet and your head in the stars.
No.
Keep that feet on the ground. That's when I had to tune up Chuck about Epstein being a Jew the other day. That's what I was doing. I was just for his own good.
Smart.
Yeah.
That's just good. I hope you wrote it down, Chuck.
He didn't have to write it down.
Put it above your toilet.
Right there.
You read it every day.
That's right.
Yep. Mm-hmm. The FBI raided the headquarters of the LA Unified School District. Finally, we're going after corruption in California, fraud in California. The second largest school district in the U.S., as well as the home of the district superintendent, Alberto Carvalho.
Oh, we need more people of color in positions. What? Oh, they're just as fucking corrupt as everyone else.
This is an ongoing investigation. Exactly. This is an ongoing investigation, but we can confirm that a search warrant pursuant under seal, court authorized warrant, and no further comment. But the district is cooperating. We're going to find out where millions and millions and millions of dollars have actually gone, I hope.
Oh, well, California's going to be much worse than Minneapolis or Minnesota. But here's the thing. I'll put it to you this way, Dawson. It's what I don't understand. It's like Mandami's like, we need more money. We're going to have to raise some taxes, get some property taxes going. And it's always what's wrong with paying it. Abigail Spanberger, or whatever her name is, Shriver, whatever her name is. I can't remember her name. But she's talking about raising right? In Virginia, she's going to raise some tax. Okay. Like we said, New York City, the city, already has a higher budget than the state of Florida. And you want to just ratchet it up
right.
Little bit more. And by the way, I've lived here my whole life. It's always like, look, what we're going to do is we're going to do a half-cent tax on each gallon of
every
gas.
time.
It's temporary, half gas, half cent per
it's
gallon.
Never temporary.
And it just keeps rolling over. All I'm saying is this. We all live in this house, and there's two ways to heat this house in the dead of winter. We can either get a furnace that blows some hot air, which we have, and then shut the windows and shut the curtains and insulate the bottom of the door where the light's peeking through, and do it that way, where we'll be burning some of the furnace fuel, but we'll insulate. Or we can do what the Democrats do, which is leave all the windows open and just keep saying we need a bigger furnace and we need more fuel going into the furnace. The fuel into the furnace is tax dollars. And my thing is, how about we shut the windows? Like, look, I want a warm house. You want a warm house. It's a combination of putting gas into the furnace, putting heating oil into the furnace, but it's also a combination of insulation, shutting the windows, shutting the flue for the fireplace, and putting a strip under the door, the sweep under the door. Like it's both things. It can't just be more fuel for the furnace. How about you shut the fucking windows?
Right.
How about we stop giving millions and billions to NGOs and homeless NGOs and daycare and learning centers and autism research? Right? How about we doge it up a little bit, which is closing the window? And the fact that you guys spaz out when somebody says, why don't we close the window so all the hot air doesn't escape? And we'll still give you fuel for the furnace, but it's burning at such a rate right now that it's insane. What's wrong with closing the window? And they go, that's an outrage.
It's as if we have a hole in our gas tank and we have a lot of driving to do. And the answer is, well, we're just going to have to pull over and fill that more often. Don't fix the hole.
Right. Fix the hole and we'll put gas in it. All right, we got a classic.
This guy who is under investigation right now, one of Newsom's sweethearts. Newsom's a little long-winded here, but he gets to him.
He loves a Hispanic guy.
He loves
We've
himself.
seen improved academic achievement in every subject area, at every grade level, in every student group, with greater gains of test scores for Black and Latino kids.
He's lying.
That happened.
Yes. This is not true.
In California's public educational system.
I think we're 49 out of 50 right now. I'm not 100% sure. It's a point of pride,
It's a point
though.
of pride that those gains are particularly pronounced in Los Angeles,
Oh,
the
yeah.
nation's second largest school district.
Really?
I just want to say this to the teachers, the classified employees, and to the parents of LA Unified School kids. You should be very proud of your project, progress you're making, particularly proud of your leader, who's here, the superintendent of public education, Alberto Carvalho, who's here with us today.
Can't even say his name.
Alberto, who's just been doing a remarkable job. Alberto, I appreciate you coming all the way up from Los Angeles.
Any chance I can crap on Newsom, I'll take.
Yeah.
I had seen this video as soon as this story came, and I said, great.
Yeah, he's great. He loves them all. He does this certitude thing about being number one, gains in, whatever. And it's like, LA Unified's a piece of shit. Yes. And it costs way too much to educate a kid. And by the way, there is no connection between the amount they pay and the grades and the test scores. Please get it out of your head.
Every single election cycle, we are faced with a new tax to pay for schools.
Right.
And the results are not there.
No.
The money's not
There's
working.
only, look, if the parents are involved, the school's good and the kids will get an education. If the parents aren't involved, then they won't. As I was explaining to Newsom when he was on our show, that certain cultures do not put the emphasis on education.
Family and education.
Like others. But I was attacked. Soundly attacked. That was the great Huffington Post headline from the following day, which said, Adam Carolla wants to know what's wrong with blacks. That's what I said.
Yep.
About Gavin
well,
Newsom.
literally that was said. But
He
yes,
said,
no, there's context.
Black and
there's
Hispanics
nuance.
don't have access to
Exactly.
checking
He said,
out.
what's wrong with them?
I said, what's wrong with them? But I like the way Huffington
Why
Post.
do Armenians have it?
Why? I love that strategy. All right, let's do one more. What do you got?
A Los Angeles police officer has been charged with felony insurance fraud. He was spotted skydiving while on disability leave. He hurt his elbow while on duty in 2023.
Let me... All right, play it. Sorry.
And then
LA
he...
police
Yeah, go ahead.
officer finding himself on the wrong side of the law, charged with felony insurance fraud after he was spotted skydiving while on disability leave. The district attorney says Christopher Carnahan of Norwalk was claiming to be temporarily totally disabled at the time after injuring his elbow on duty, and the skydiving apparently wasn't a one-time thing. Prosecutors say Carnahan completed many skydives and also worked out in a fitness center. He's being held now on $100,000 bail. If he's convicted, he faces up to 6 years behind bars.
He's being held on a $100,000 bail. That implies that he hasn't posted bail.
Right. I will say this.
Facing 6 years.
Listen to me, everybody. When you give people an out, most people will take the out. If you say, look, people used to be God-fearing. They used to have dignity. They used to go, I can't be bought. Good day, sir. You know, that kind of stuff. Now everyone can be bought. No one has dignity, and no one's God-fearing. So God sort of kept you in line.
The only thing that stands in that way is dignity. But yeah, go on.
You start saying, you know, Americans with disabilities, if you can't, you know, if you go to the bathroom at the restaurant, there's no grab bar next to the toilet, and you're in a wheelchair, you can't sue that, right? Then a whole cottage industry of lawyers pop up who sue restaurants. That's all they do is sue restaurants. And they never go to court. They get paid. They settle. And the second you go, well, look, we're going to do this thing where if it's a discrimination lawsuit type thing where it's like wrongfully terminated because your ethnicity or because okay, then all of a sudden you can't fire a black guy, you can't fire a Mexican guy, you can't fire a lesbian because every single fucking one of them will go to a lawyer and then you'll just have to cut him a check. And it creates that. Now you go, well, we don't want discrimination. I don't want it either, but you've created something just like the Somali Leering Center. You say to a fucking mom who's poor, listen, if your kid has some Down syndrome or autism, you'll get an extra $1,000 a month. And it's a spectrum. So 9-year-old Timmy over there, is he ever, tune out when you're talking? Or does he ever go in his room and just lay there with the lights off or close his eyes when he's talking or something? Yeah, he does all that. Good, here's $1,000. Everyone's going to do it all the time because how fucking incredibly weak everybody is and how everyone is missing their dignity. And by the way, there's no such thing as being a man anymore and having quiet dignity or being stoic. It's just a bunch of fucking motherfucking money grubbing fucking pussies who just want free shit. It's all dogs at the airport. They're going to take advantage of everything. You cannot offer it. And you can't offer it on a fucking spectrum. And you can't have some fucking NGO that goes, hey, we'll take all the money from the concert for the fire victims and we'll figure out who gets the money. None of this shit works. It's going to be corruption everywhere. Every city, every town with a program is going to have corruption. Right. The program creates the corruption. If you say to a cop, a fireman, you can retire and you can get full pay if you fucking injure yourself on the job, then they're going to go, yeah, I spilled a cup of coffee in my crotch and I can't. And it's always, I can't walk. How many fucking people, you tell people about disability, all of a sudden everyone's got a fucking bad back and they're home. The dream of every person is not to work and get paid. That's what it is. Especially if your job involves having gangbangers shoot at you. Well, then you fucking do what you want to do, which is skydive.
But
and
if you
can
live
do that
in Norwalk, you should probably go a little further than Lake Elsinore to skydive. You're going to be seen.
I feel like these people, they play it close to the vest for the first 6 months, and then they start getting sloppy and stupid. But anyway.
Because they think they're smart. That's another effect of this. People think they're smarter than everyone else, and they're really stupid.
The system creates this, is my argument. So stop. It's like you can enforce it, or you can get rid of the system that creates it. All right. My cars, all the Newman cars, March 22nd, Santa Ana, California. I'll be there. We're doing a live podcast there. That's at the Jordan Family Classic Cars, and you can come by and say hi. Go to amcroll.com for that. Monique Marvez, everybody, at MoniqueMarvez.com. Dawson, any plugs for you?
Yeah, I'm going to be on the high seas all next week.
Oh, yeah.
Hosting Cruise to the Edge, the prog rock extravaganza.
Can't wait for the stories.
And other great shows coming up. Follow me at Los Angeles.
Till next time, I'm Carolla for Monique Marvez in Los Angeles saying mahalo.